One sec.
Okay.
Bitch sneezing like 5 times. He says sorry in chat. Oh my god. So should we like dive on in?
Yeah. Let's do it. I'm down. I'll just do a quick, for anyone that's curious about the movie who hasn't seen it, I'm going to do a quick synopsis, I guess, is what it's called, considered. On a routine journey through space to a new home, 2 passengers sleeping in suspended animation are awakened 90 years too early when their ship malfunctions. As Jim and Aurora face living the rest of their lives on board with every luxury they could ever ask for, they begin to fall in love for each other, unable to deny their intense attraction until they discover the ship is in grave danger. With the lives of 5,000 sleeping passengers at stake, only Jim and Aurora can save them all.
I love that the way that it words it, and I'm like, if you watched the movie, that's literally like this much of the story.
Like it's a lie.
It is a lie, essentially. You've seen this film, Goofy? I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you.
I'm so stoked. She gets okay, cool.
Doesn't tell what really happened. Yeah, it doesn't mention what really happens.
Nothing. It's like, okay, you gotta watch it.
Yeah, they just happen to wake up.
Yeah, spaceship's chilling, traveling through space to another, like, what, universe, essentially?
Home planet. A new home planet.
Another home planet. Sketch meteor pops into the screen and instantly reminds me of that 1998 film Armageddon, right? I don't want to lose a thing. Anyways, it just reminded me of that. I love Michael Clark Duncan, Rip. And I think that's what ultimately made me love that movie, was just him, honestly. I really don't like Ben Affleck that much. I'm not a huge, anyways. I'm iffy on Bruce Willis, but I also hope his health is okay. Poor homie.
Rip.
Anyways, so,
career.
Rip career. Oh my God. Sorry, that just made me go right into which I'm not going to dive into that too much, but that just made me think of Johnny Depp. Also, homie, love ya.
Next podcast.
Yes. Anyways, it hits the Avalon, this meteor, and it does a self-repair to the whole ship, which I'm sitting here going, okay. And everything, of course, is one little hibernation pod, number 1498, is repaired, right? Yeah. And this is where we meet Jim. This motherfucker.
Pratt,
can you imagine, by the way, let's just start with that first question. Can you actually imagine? What would you do?
Like waking up and everyone else is asleep and...
Like, he was so nonchalant. He didn't look around the fucking area that he was the only... I mean, okay, so he was going through
the wake-up process.
Sickness. Okay, I get that. He's confused. He's happy. He's shocked. But wouldn't you be like...
I'd have a mental breakdown.
But wouldn't you look around and be like, how come I don't see anyone else? Like, immediately? Or would you just be like, don't you think everyone would wake up at the same time if you were waking up if you were all there? Or do you think they do it in sections?
I think they would do it in sections because there's a lot of people on that ship. There's a lot. Fair. So I would think maybe they go one pod at a time and blah, blah, blah. And then as he did, he was like, what the hell's going on? But I don't think he freaked out enough, in my opinion. I don't think
he freaked out enough to start. Like, I would have immediately been like, okay, yes, going through that post-hibernation sickness and whatever. But then, once you've showered, you got your clothes on. He panicked a little bit when he, realized no one else was around and none of the computers could kind of, answer that question.
That was hilarious.
But, I think my uncomfortable feelings and just distress would have started well before that.
Yeah.
Because I would have been curious why I still wasn't seeing anybody.
Yeah.
He kind of was.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think there was.
But we also don't know how the whole waking up process feels.
That's true.
It's a movie. We don't know how actually groggy you are when you first wake up from 90 years sleeping.
Yeah.
Or in his case, 15 years. How long was he asleep for?
I actually don't.
He was asleep.
Don't know.
For 10 years because.
Was it a 100-year?
No, he was asleep for 8 years because he spends 2 years alone.
Is it 2 years he spends alone, or is it a year? I can't remember. I don't think I wrote that down.
I can't remember.
Oh, I wrote down. Oh, wait, I did write it down. And we go through a full year. Is that real, though?
Wasn't it 120 years to get to the other planet? He was asleep for 30 odd and alone for 1. Okay.
Because it was 90 years early, so.
Yes. Right.
Yeah.
I think you're right. Yes, 120-year trip.
Okay.
Yeah. So we don't know how groggy you're going to be.
How he was feeling. Yeah. That's fair.
But, like, as soon as he, like, kind of, the panic set in, I feel like he should have panicked a bit more. You know what I mean? Like, had some ugly crying a bit. Super duper drunk. You know?
I would have gotten fucking wasted probably and just sat with Arthur like, what the fuck? In which he did.
Yeah.
He did a lot of Arthur action, right?
Yeah.
Like, he was there.
I don't blame him. There's nothing else there to talk to.
But, I mean, it ends up fucking him over.
Yeah.
Well, fucking Arthur over. Let's just... That was like... Anyways, so...
We're jumping ahead a bit.
Let's not jump ahead here, okay? What did I write here? His existence and experience from what he thought it was going to be to what the reality of his situation is or was had me severely stressed out.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine, obviously, can we imagine that panic suddenly? Yes, he didn't panic enough, but like, let's really go there. And the whole like experience reminded me of Fallout 4 or any of like the Fallout games where you're just like post-apocalyptic, like there's nothing. You're just like alone
just
in like a
life.
Metal like I mean, he's in a space station, but like parts of me didn't feel that way because it was such a big space station, which I think was intended.
Yeah.
Like you want to feel like you're kind of home base or whatever, but yeah, or like even like a Halo kind of like alone in this spacey, echoey chamber. What stressed me out is not being able to get to the crew when he was trying to. I felt really bad for that experience because I just feel like someone in the design of that spaceship did not think about this. You know,
no,
like you need to fail safe.
Yeah, you need
that.
But it's kind of like the mindset of, I think, the company that built the ships, because this wasn't their first ship. They've done this numerous times. They've gone to other planets. This isn't their first planet too. Mm-hmm. So I think their mindset was kind of like a Titanic kind of mindset of nothing can go wrong. This is perfect. We've tested everything.
The biggest, best spaceship you're ever gonna ride.
They said it would never happen. Exactly, the Titanic effect.
God, it is a Titanic. Wow. Because the Rock and oh my God, he's the whole.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's
crazy.
Jack and she's Rose.
Yeah. So what really effed me up, this like hit me hard, and I was like, you know what? It made me realize that I don't think I'd ever go to space to like be safe, because he's like panicking. He's like trying to send a message to Earth. I mean, you have to just accept it, right? And it takes 19 years to send a message and 55 years to reply. Ridiculous. I mean, would you wait for a reply, or would you just kill yourself off? Would you wait? Would you stay alive on that ship?
I think this delves deeper into a conversation that Jordan and I constantly have every time we watch this goddamn movie. Like, I don't know if we want to delve into that yet.
Here. Let's talk. We can. Well, it depends if we're ready for it. Do we want to talk more about the movie before we go into that?
I think we should talk.
'Cause we can.
We should get to the point of when like Aurora comes into play.
Okay, that's fair. I like that. So, you know, obviously he's experiencing some serious mental distress and starts panicking and wants to put himself back in his pod, right?
Oh my God, when he puts himself back in the pod
and then he closes. Get the fuck out and started. I panicked. I couldn't handle it.
No.
I suffer from claustrophobia. You can't. If I'm in a room, it's not terribly bad, but I will make myself leave. I can do concerts and stuff. I know where my exits are. I'm fine. If I'm in a room with one exit, and I'm in here and people start coming in, I am definitely moving myself towards the door. I try not to make a big deal about it, but was it distress? Did I shush? Did I get that Sean Connery going on?
You did. But that part of the movie, oof.
No.
Because especially since he starts out calm and then he realizes what he's just done. And he's like, what if I can't get out of this pod? And then he freaks out. And I'm like, bro, don't do that.
I'd be right there with him.
Yeah, same.
Honestly.
I wouldn't get in.
Totally. I wouldn't go in. I would probably have thought about it. For
yeah.
Sure. Like,
can
I put myself back in hibernation mode? For sure. I tried to think about if that's what I would do, but I don't. No. That's like a whole nother topic, but being buried alive. Fuck that. No way. Like, no.
Can we also talk about how sad for a whole year he's eaten the same like breakfast because he can't afford to have the upper class food?
Yeah, the whack set,
the broke whack ass set of food. So he ate like the same crap.
He couldn't get like the nice coffee. He couldn't. I mean, I couldn't imagine eating the same. They should have. That's another shit design with the ship.
Yeah,
like they should offer at least 5 different meals.
Yeah.
At least, in my opinion. But that's just me.
For, like, the poorer people like us.
Yeah. And, of course, we get huge Castaway vibes. Both.
Oh, yeah.
Both versions, right? The Tom Hanks one and then the original Castaway. I felt all of the vibes of all the Castaways going on here. But, of course, we're on a starship. And, like, he gets so... His first year is just so depressing. At first, you're like, okay, he can do this. He can get through this. But like,
yeah, because he's like doing his dance battles, playing his sports thing against the computer,
working out, doing his thing.
Boring.
I mean, you can only do so much by yourself forever, right? You're gonna need a companion. And you know, what would you? I mean, I don't know. What would you guys do? Would you? I mean. I don't know. I would have probably done most of the same things. I mean, it would have been lonely as hell, but you would literally have everything you would need. You wouldn't need anything. It's all set up. Be extremely lonely, though. That would be the hardest part.
I would start off with just trying for a bit, as he does. And, yeah, I think everyone would go through the same thing. Like, they try and live through it, and then you get bored and you get lonely, and what's the point? There's, like, I'm 90 more years of being alone.
And then he, I can't remember exactly. I might have looked away right at that moment and like wrote down my notes, but like he discovers Aurora Lane, pod 1456.
Well, he starts to read about all of the people, and then
is that what he's doing?
And then he became kind of obsessed with her.
Yeah, I think I missed how he I not that I wasn't, I had just looked away because I was sitting here at my desk watching this movie, just like literally sucked into it. But I think I looked down and was writing as like my, what the fuck, this and another. And then I look up and I'm like, wait, why? That's when he was like looking at the videos, the like, little projector iPad thing of like her telling her stories about her dad, and she's a writer and what she wants to do, and he's like, suddenly it goes through those like scene bits of like him slowly falling in love with her.
Jordan's right. He originally found her because he was at like rock bottom, and he was walking around drunk, and he threw a bottle, and then he found that a section of the ship where people could like for funsies wear a suit and go outside into space. Right. And then he had the moment where he's like, I'm just gonna not put on this suit and just launch myself.
I watched that. Yes. Okay.
Yes. And then he, of course, backs out because if he didn't, we wouldn't have a movie.
Oh my God. That was so stressful.
That was so stressful. So then he comes run back and he trips on his bottle, and then he sees her pod.
That's okay. I knew it was something subtle, and I didn't think I had missed too much, like, because I couldn't remember exactly. He sees her, and then he goes investigates, right? He's like, let me go learn about her.
Yeah, and then he spends a year like thinking about his options.
Okay, and should I? No, I shouldn't. Should I? No, I shouldn't. Should I break her out? No, I shouldn't. Do I want to keep being alone? Not really. Should I open? No.
It's a hard choice.
Ooh, boy.
And this kind of leads into Jordan and mine's one of our questions during this movie.
Good.
Let's, as I presented to him, if Jordan and me decided to go on this spaceship to go to a new world, and then either I wake up or Jordan wakes up early, should he wake me up? Or how would I feel about him waking me up? And during our many conversations, I've told him, if this was ever a real situation, which it will never be, he has full permission to wake me up. Full permission, because I don't want to be on this new planet and Jordan's dead. And I've told him, if I wake up in this new planet and I find out that he woke somebody else up, I'll be fucking pissed.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
We've talked about this extensively.
Well, if in that experience, since you are going together,
yeah,
put this way, I expect, and I don't know, I just expect that you already know your other person's there. I'm waking my motherfucker up.
Yeah.
Yo, what up? Wake up. I woke up early.
I'm fucked. You're fucked.
You're fucked with me. You're not, because what if you, I'm sorry, but like, I would be pissed if I didn't get woken up by my person.
Yeah.
I'd be pissed. And they just were like, too bad. And I'll just let them live their life.
Jordan keeps saying that he wouldn't wake me up because he would want me to live my life on this new planet. And I'm like, fuck that.
I'd way rather figure it out with you.
We're playing that dance battle every fucking day on that goddamn
every
ship.
Night. We're gonna. Oh, by the way, huge. Well, okay. So let's get to it. So he opens her fucking pod.
Yeah,
right?
He decides it.
He does it. Sends it. Yeet.
To be fair, it takes him a year. Let's give him that.
While. He does. Okay, you're right. He does go back and forth.
He pros and cons it.
Year. I just want to point out, they didn't know each other.
No.
They weren't lovers.
Mm-mm.
Didn't know each other. Didn't know each other. Didn't know each other.
No.